All right, Bang Bang, it's the Rundown from Chicago. It's Wednesday. It's October 5th, presented by the Sirius XM App. Get your first 3 months free of the Sirius XM app when you visit SiriusXM.com/rundown to sign up. Offer details apply. Listen, both Pearl Jam and other Red Hot Chili Peppers concerts at the Apollo are live in the Sirius XM app. I think everyone likes a good concert version, that's pretty sweet. You can go check that out, Sirius XM app. If you like good music, you can't miss these shows. The kicker is you can sign up to listen to the shows on the SiriusXM app and get your first 3 months free. Enjoy ad-free music channels for every genre and artist-dedicated channels. Stay informed with world-class news from every single angle, and hear from the brightest stars in entertainment with original talk and exclusive comedy on the SiriusXM app. I promise you will not be disappointed. So one more time, make sure you download the app and subscribe at SiriusXM.com/rundown offer to get your first 3 months free. Offer details apply. Go check that out. That's cool features that SiriusXM app provides. All right, first topic of the day here. Blake Bortles has retired.
One question with the quarterback, Blake Bortles. My question is, we had a little bit of a discussion, possibly people reaching out to you to see if you could, train, come in, maybe be a backup. How are you? Are you in good shape? Are you ready to be signed by a team? Maybe even the Patriots. Hank is trying to hog all the Blakes.
I didn't tell anybody I retired. Months ago, probably. Just didn't tell anyone. So I guess you guys are kind of the first to hear it publicly, maybe?
Chief, you could lead us off.
Yeah, I like that he retired and didn't say anything. Like, so many guys take the little victory tour and it's speculation. It's almost just like probably nobody really was offering him a job, and he's like, I'm done. And it just unceremoniously and just I just stopped doing what I was doing. It was just like a regular guy. So I did like that. I looked back at that 2014 draft. Tough draft for quarterbacks. Bortles went 3. Next guy taken, Johnny Manziel. Then it was Teddy Bridgewater to close out the first round, still going. Teddy, a starter, and then Jimmy G, and those were like the only 4 quarterbacks of note in that draft. So, we always sit here and be like, man, we can never get a quarterback. It's hard to find the right quarterback.
Dave,
I disagree with one thing that Chief said right there. It said he just didn't get an offer, and he was like, I'm done. I guarantee you he did have offers on the table because people are desperate for quarterbacks, as referenced by what's going on with the Giants right now, working everybody out in week 4 now? I guarantee you he had an offer on the table, and he woke up one morning and he's just like, I'm going to stay in a few more hours. And it just snowballed into retirement. And I looked up his spot track. Made just under $50 million in his career, so not a bad life.
Not a bad life at all. And then there was that great clip of him. I think it was one of his first appearances on PMT.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
Usually just piss.
Okay. What would you do if you weren't playing football?
If I wasn't playing football, working construction, ripping cigs.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Where they're like, what would you be doing if you weren't a quarterback? Goes, I don't know, ripping cigs and working construction. So it's just like, he's just a dude.
He's one of
a
us.
Regular guy, yeah.
In that same interview, I'm assuming it's the same interview. He's been on PMT so many times, but he got an electric car, correct?
So the plan was to buy a Tesla so that I could quit dipping, because then I wouldn't have to go to the gas station anymore. So now I just go to the gas station just to buy dip.
And
yeah, that's what I was going to say that. So listen, he's got 3 really classic moments from what I see. I'm not totally plugged into the PMT world, but obviously I know that one with ripping cigs, doing construction. Then he said he bought a Tesla because he wanted to quit dip, so he wouldn't go to gas stations anymore.
And then he just ended up taking the
which
Tesla
is actually
to gas stations
people will laugh at that. That's genius.
It's very smart.
Genius.
Yeah.
And then now he's like, actually he's just kind of retired. I didn't tell anybody. So what that show and what they've been able to do together and the Wikipedia Club and everything is just awesome.
Yeah.
That's the epitome of what makes that show cool, and many different Barstool shows cool, is guys like Blake Bortles are, for all intents and purposes, they should be he should just be gone.
Do you think
he should be Christian
offer?
Ponder, and that's just the first name that came to mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He should just disappear into the abyss. But now he's on Zoom on his cell phone with trees behind him.
Yeah.
Just like giggling about how he actually retired. So,
Do you
it's
think he'll
fair.
have an offer on the table from Barstool Sports in some manner?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I think it looked like he was somewhere warm.
Yeah.
We're not in too many warm weather states. I
Not
don't
yet.
know.
Well, our founder is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Go move him with
Honestly,
Dave.
he'd probably be an awesome roommate.
Yeah, that's a good question though. I don't know. I don't know. He seems a little too chill for content.
Yeah.
But he's great content.
What does
so.
it make? Yeah. What does it make you think about a guy like Chase Daniel versus him? Because I feel like Chase Daniel, like they're the same guy in a lot of ways. Chase Daniel's just like kind of a little pudgy guy, good college quarterback. Wasn't as drafted as highly, obviously, but he's just hung around holding the clipboard. Basically, it seems like because people like him. Like he's just a good guy to have around.
Low maintenance, cheap.
I mean, Blake made a fucking AFC championship.
I mean, we made the joke.
They probably should have beat the Patriots in that game.
Oh, they absolutely
Yeah.
should have. With Chaps watching and everything, they absolutely should
I feel
have.
like there was like a fumble that got overturned. They
blew it. I remember them blowing
they
it.
were up at halftime. But, yeah, so Blake, and, two-time Blake of the Year, I think. So he's got a lot of accolades.
We have we have a backup quarterback in Chicago by the name of Trevor Siemian right now, and for a very first-hand person reference, Trevor Siemian and I ran into the dog park. He went to Northwestern University. This was last fall, and I'm like, that's Trevor Siemian. At the time, he was on the Saints, so I didn't want to walk up to him and be like, hey, man, what are you doing here in the middle of the fucking football season? Because I assumed he got cut or something. Eventually, I did, and the Saints were on their bye week.
I helped myself for 10 minutes.
Well, I mean,
Put that on White Sox Dave's tombstone.
We were talking football, and I'm like, so obviously I know who you are. Like, what are you doing in Chicago? His wife still lived in Chicago, and he was on his bye week, and he was like visiting his daughter or something. But
I didn't want to bother him, but I did.
We started. I didn't
hey,
bother
man, are
him.
you unemployed?
I didn't bother, and we. I'm not gonna say it. I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
Because you're gonna shit on me because you're a dickhead.
Just do it now.
It's all right. Let's.
A person at the dog park came up to me and introduced himself to me, and then Trevor and I followed each other on Instagram. So he's like, "Wait, why didn't you say that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't want to come off as a douchebag." So that's how the bothering started, Ed. If you want to be accurate. Anyways, he's like, "Yeah, I'm just clinging on by a thread right now."
Wait, I'm confused. So he noticed you because someone else noticed you?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
we follow each other on Instagram.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
Nice.
he's like, "Hey, I'm clinging on by a thread, going year to year, team to team." He's on the Bears now, making $1 million a pop or whatever. Not a bad career.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Backup quarterback, one of the best positions in sports.
Explaining to Justin Fields how to do things.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Next topic here. All rise. Aaron Judge hits his 62nd home run. White Sox Dave. Rise, please. Rise for the Judge.
American League home run
It's
champ.
awesome. I mean, I'm very sick of all the bitching about what the real record is. Is it 73? Is it 62? But like, I don't give a shit about any of that. To me, it's 73. Aaron Judge. I'm more interested about this winter with Aaron Judge than I have been with this summer with Aaron Judge. I can see Uncle Stevie giving him a blank check, and that would be incredible as a baseball fan.
Would be a high drama. I thought that I walked in here today, Ed, sat down next to Dave. Dave's like, "You see this guy caught the home run ball?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "It's a fucking millionaire banker who's married to a girl from The Bachelor." Dave didn't give a fuck about the record. He just hated the guy who caught something who was already.
Because it's always a dink. Like,
He doesn't look like a dink. He was like a big, handsome dude with a hot wife.
I mean, he's a dink.
You just hate him because he's like tall and handsome and successful.
I hate him because I'm not him, obviously.
yeah.
But like that,
I
like the kid's giving, what was it, the 700th home run ball back?
Yeah, that guy,
60th
the
or something.
Tommy Smokes guy. Yeah,
Yeah, the Tommy Smokes guy. I'm
that
like,
was 60. 61 was the
whatever.
bullpen.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Bullpen guy.
Yeah.
Like, why can't it just be like
Why can't it be
my
you?
dad? Like my dad. Like, when is a guy like my dad gonna ever catch a break? He just turned 60 or something a couple weeks ago, and he's just
something?
lived a miserable life, as referenced by me being his son. And like, why isn't it never someone like that, ever? That's what I want.
You had to put your dad there because you couldn't, in good faith, look into that camera and be like, "Why can't it be me?"
Well, I mean, if
I
it was
like
my
this.
dad, I'd be mooching off of him. So I was saying that just in
I like this. You're
tangential way.
You're having a day today, Dave. You didn't want to bother someone, but you did. And why couldn't it be someone like your dad who caught the ball?
I didn't want to come
Two
off as a
topics, huh?
douchebag by saying I got recognized before.
No,
Pro
I
Athlete.
get it. I understand.
But you had to drag it out of me, so thanks for that.
I dragged it. But yeah.
Congrats, Aaron Judge. It's cool, for sure. I don't feel the need to argue about if it's a home run champ or if it's not, because it's clearly fucking not.
Yeah.
But I think it is cool. Like, people who are like, oh, it's not a big deal. I don't know. There is some cool pageantry about the Yankees and, 60, 61, 62. So I think it's cool.
It just, I don't care. I just don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I loved it when I was a kid.
Yeah, the 98 home run chase. That was pre-internet days. I'd walk to the gas station, grab 2 quarters, get the newspaper, rip out the sports section.
Yeah, but it's still cool to be excited or interested in something that's not a playoff race at the end here.
Yeah.
And this is the first time it's happened in a long, long time.
Yeah.
A long time. All right, next topic here.
20 years, yep.
Tom Brady and Gisele have hired divorce lawyers. Dave, Tom Brady is your boy, so I'll let you lead it off again.
I have a very strong take on this.
Oh,
This is the place for it.
here you go.
You ready?
Yeah.
I do not give a flying fuck. You can pass it on to Chief now.
Okay.
I really do not give. This is like the royal family bullshit. Like, I do not care.
Thank you, David.
I feel like it's our royal family.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
We have a Victoria's Secret supermodel, one of the most successful women in modeling of all time, and the greatest quarterback who ever lived. And they were like forming a super couple. They have like offspring that will probably rule the world.
Do not
they're
care.
getting divorced.
But I don't deify athletes like freaks from the Northeast. Apparently,
I'm very curious as to what this is actually all about. Like, if something tells me it's not just, hey, I want to do one more year of football.
it couldn't be that. Yeah.
You're going to throw away the next 40 years of your life and your kids' lives and all that because Tom wanted to play football. There had to be something else going on here. That's my
I mean, it was strange from the jump, from when he missed a couple weeks of training camp.
Masked Singer, though.
Yeah, the Masked Singer rumor. That was a great one.
Yeah.
I like I was seeing Keegs argue. I forgot who she was arguing with about how if a man wants to play football over you, like you deserve to walk, which is interesting.
You want to talk about something? This is Gisele privilege. Okay, there's not another woman on the planet who would walk from Tom Brady and all of his millions unless she was successful.
Well, she's worth more money than
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But that's my point. Like, she would, and whatever, it's her
that's
prerogative.
what caused the divorce.
But it's like she's walking away from something that he's universally regarded as very handsome. He's extremely successful. She has always said that he's like a great father. And now all of a sudden, like, the thing that she signed up for 15 years ago, she's like, no, like, this has to fucking stop now if that's the actual case.
And how old is he now? 45?
Yeah. So that's what I mean.
Come on,
Every
though. You
other
gotta see her
fucking
point,
person
though.
on the planet is working through.
What's her point? He works
their
6 months a
60s.
year.
Yeah, but I don't think she thought that she'd be dealing with this for this long.
Shut up, Ed.
What?
Shut up.
Dealing
Ed.
with what? A husband that has to work?
Well,
Yeah.
Every other guy on
exactly
the
what I
planet
just
works
said.
until he's like 65
yeah,
or 70.
but they are not real people. Stop acting like they're real people. They're not.
They are real people. What do you mean they're not real people?
They don't have.
They're husband and wife. They're real people.
People with their status, a lot of them don't work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they don't have their priorities in the right place. But your priorities, if you agree and you enter into a marriage, should be to see out that marriage. And I'm sure Tom is guilty with this too, because it's like, you're just addicted to football. If it really is about football,
It's probably not, though.
It's probably not.
Everyone's making their own headlines.
yeah.
Who knows? Good luck to the Brady's.
I'm sad for them. I hope they figure it out.
What's Ben Brady up to these days?
I think he's got a different mom.
Do you think in a weird butterfly?
Yeah, Bridget Moynihan, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nevertheless, do you think that in a weird butterfly effect world, we'd be sitting here in these chairs arguing about Tom Brady and Gisele's divorce if it weren't for Ben Brady?
Well, because yeah,
Babygate?
I don't think that was.
No, just asking.
Yeah, no.
Where were you?
I mean, Tom Brady would still be Tom Brady. We'd still
Yeah.
be talking about him.
Yeah,
So
that's probably true.
Yeah.
Next topic, Elon Musk is buying Twitter again. He tried to back out on the deal because of unreported fake accounts and bots, but it sounds like it is going to go through because the rumor is Musk is actually going to take it private potentially.
Well, that's what this whole deal is. Like, you're buying it and taking it private. Like, it's not going to remain on the stock exchange. I think that's what he means by private in that little blurb from John Rich. Yeah, so that means that he can kind of run it with autonomy and do whatever he wants. I hope that he does clean it up, in terms of like the bots and the algorithm. I think I wrote this the other day where it's just like I feel like Twitter and social media really contribute to half the country hating the other half without ever interacting with each other in like a real way. So maybe you just switch the algorithm so it's like you look at White Sox Dave and don't think he's a fucking monster because he thinks differently than you. You can think he's a monster for other reasons, but not about political or whatever. It just seems like it's an angry place. I'm hoping he can make it less angry. Although he didn't get off to a good start because Ukraine fucking hates him now too.
Yeah, he does. So what he got it, he offered a solution.
Yeah, which was like give Russia Crimea and other concessions and diplomats, ambassadors, and then
basically start from where they were before they invaded in February.
Yeah.
So you think it's up to him now to, hopefully curb arguments when you're sitting next to the guy who should be first kicked off?
Why should I be kicked off?
Well, I'm just going to make a fake Hall of Fame ballot so people just argue.
Not even curb arguments, but like I do think that there's like that has been a proven fact that there are bots that exist only to get under your skin. And there's Russian farm bots, I'm sure there's Chinese, I'm sure there's American, and they just fucking, they're a bunch of people who like to argue but they're fake, but they're just a bunch of, imagine thousands and thousands and thousands of White Sox Daves just being like, nope, and like getting under your skin. That would drive, so get rid of that and make it, see if you can change like they wrote the algorithm to increase engagement by making people upset. Maybe figure out a way to make people not upset through the algorithm.
But does that put asses in seats?
But the Ukraine thing, those people, shut up, okay? He's the one who, you're allowed to see his tweets because he gave you Starlink. And then you're going to use his internet to say, fuck you, Elon, for having an opinion that you don't agree with. He gave you the fucking internet during this war. So shut up. That's it.
They're just exercising their right to free speech.
I don't know.
That he provided for them.
We've been talking about this for, I feel like, multiple rundowns.
I know, I'm over
this point.
too.
I'm just happy it's going to happen, and now we're going to see the effects.
Is it, though?
Well, we're going to see the effects from it already. Because first it was like, it's happening, then it's not happening, then he's suing. So, all right, let's see what happens, and we'll talk about it when real action takes place.
Yeah.
Next topic, there are bars, restaurants, and hotels in Qatar that are not able to show games on TV during the World Cup. Chief, we'll start with you again.
I mean, every time I read a headline about this World Cup, it gets worse. It started off with why the fuck is it in Qatar? Then it was well, they're using fucking slaves to build the stadiums. Then it's we can't even have it in the summer because it'll be 120 degrees. Probably should have thought of that. Move it to the winter, disrupt the entire EPL, international, all these different leagues all around the world get disrupted. There hasn't been one thing about this World Cup being in Qatar that's been good. The whole thing, and now it's you're going to send people there. They don't have hotels. If you don't have a ticket to a particular game, well, tough shit. You can't. So if you're a Spanish guy, you're I'm going to go to Qatar and I'm going to go to all three Spain games in the group stage. What it sounds like with this, you can't watch any of the other games. So there's 32 teams, so you're going to be able to see three of what's 32 times 3 days, 72 other games in the first round that you're just not going to be able to watch because of their blackouts. What is it?
It's 96.
30, yeah, 96. You're right. I was trying to do the subtraction of the three that he was, whatever, it doesn't matter. And you're just not going to be able to see the bulk of the tournament if you decide to go there. That's
but you
bullshit.
can pay. It says I don't know what the dollar to euro
bars
exchange.
And restaurants being charged, and maybe those restaurants.
24,000 euros.
What I don't know. I mean,
they might not even care though. Those bars that Qatar is they all are millionaires.
How many dollars is 24,000 euros?
I don't know what the exchange rate is right now.
I mean, you're the exchange rate guy.
I drafted it.
You said you love a good exchange rate.
On vacation. It's actually 1-to-1 right now.
So $24,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. I mean, I was gonna say if that equates to like a few $100, we should ask like Dave Miller or someone. But for bars and restaurants for a pay-per-view event, it's not like you just buy one pay-per-view. You have to pay way more for like a big fight or an MMA.
That's why they
event
usually charge covers for those. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, at first I was like, this doesn't really seem that bad because it's normal. But
People are paying 160 euros per night to stay in a tent.
You see what Donnie's staying in?
No, what's
Donnie, I don't know if this was a joke or not, but it was like a shipping bin that you would see on the ships
a
of like
container?
on a merch
Oh,
thing for
really?
like, you know, if you're thinking of like, oh, I'm the captain now. Captain Phillips, was that the name of that movie?
Captain Phillips.
Tom Hanks, where they have
Captain
all those
Ron?
shipping containers on the
Captain
back.
Ron.
Like he's staying basically in one of those.
I randomly follow. I got caught in the Instagram algorithm, and I follow a bunch of accounts that are like tiny house.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking
I
about?
actually want
I've
to get
s-
one.
And
Where'd you put
I
it?
want to get one
Yeah,
too,
I don't know, but I want to get one.
just out in the woods or something. But I've seen them built out of shipping containers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, they are cool.
Also, it's reported that there's a sex ban, and having sex could get you 7 years in prison.
I heard that. Donnie better watch out.
Yeah, be careful, Donnie.
That big sex haver.
Last topic, there's an NYU professor that was fired for making classes too hard. Apparently, chemistry professor, the guy who was fired because kids complained about his organic chem class being too hard. 82 of his 350 students signed a petition claiming it was his fault that they were failing. The petition said a class with such a high percentage of withdrawals and low grades has failed to make students' learning and well-being a priority. White Sox Dave, have a way.
The guy sounds like a real douche, but the kids sound like even bigger douches. I gotta imagine there's a whole gaggle of douches at New York University. So I'm assuming it's just douche on douche crime. Is that a good way to put it?
No.
Not really, but
No. Yeah. So I'm looking at this guy who is this organic chemistry teacher. He looks about 70 years old. I'm sure that he's probably been teaching this class, which, you know, if anybody has a friend that's a doctor, this is like the foundation undergrad class for med school is organic chemistry. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be hard. You want to be a fucking doctor? You want to save people's lives? You better understand organic chemistry. And I'm sure this guy has just been doing it the same way the whole time. And then you got this batch of young kids who are fucking pussies. And they're like, oh, we don't want to study. It's hard. It's bad for the second part of that sentence in the petition. It's bad for our well-being. Shut the fuck up. Just do the work, get the grade, and it's supposed to be hard. Like kids failing, that is like a proxy for like how difficult the course is. So if you're not passing that class, you're probably not meant to be a doctor and meant to do all like fine, drop it, take another class. That happens all the time where it's like, hey, I'm just not cut out for this line of work. I better go do something else. You don't get to complain, pass, and then do surgery on me in 20 years when I have like a kidney stone or something because you complained your way into passing organic chemistry. I fucking hate everybody that's younger than me.
I swear to God, my freshman year we were in trimesters at my school, so it was first trimester, and I was like, I'll go be a sports medicine doctor, something like that. And it was chemistry 102. It wasn't orgochem, but it was some variation of chemistry, and it was taught by two professors at once. And the first words out of their mouths were like, "This is where we separate the real med students from the fake med students." I got a D, and I was one of the fake ones. First time I ever got a D in my life. And
sounds about right.
And
it,
thank
my
God,
roommate and I did.
thank God for that. You
Yeah.
imagine if you complained and they passed you and now you're an orthopedist and you're like, well,
Yeah, but
you
at the
know,
same
just
time,
throw
there's
harder.
other universities who probably didn't have that, and it was probably a little easier, and someone snuck through, and White Sox Dave could have snuck through.
Yeah, but then I would say this is
wouldn't have been
This is
sneaking through. I
NYU,
just-
which is a
Sure.
prestigious university. So if you want all of the benefits of going to get an education and paying for that level of difficulty and that level of prestige, then you better just do the fucking work or choose to study something else.
And you know what? It was about 80 kids out of 320, I think the list said.
82 out of 350.
So about a quarter of the kids failed out. That sounds about right for that kind of class, you know?
Well, those are the ones who signed the petition. So I don't know if those are the ones who, like, it could have been a higher number that flunked out. Maybe some kids were like, well, I'm just a fucking idiot and I deserve to flunk or I didn't do the work. And then they're like, well, he didn't offer us extra credit. So
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So like, what are you talking about?
Also, the student said that the petition did not specifically call for his firing, and they were surprised when he was terminated. I listen. It's impossible to know the full scope of the situation without being in the class, correct? Because this may surprise you, but some teachers need to fucking go.
Sure.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there's some of those teachers that are protected by tenure.
Yep.
That just
Not
absolutely
at New York
fucking
University,
blow.
though.
I
Yeah,
don't-
they do. They have
wow.
tenure there.
Private school?
Oh, big time. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But they just blow, and like who knows this guy's fucking grading scale? Who knows a lot about it?
Yeah.
There are certain teachers that make it impossible, and like I don't think that's right either. I'm not saying this was him,
Right.
But it could have been one of those teachers.
I am inclined to side with the teacher, given all the complaining I've heard from everybody about everything this day and age. So everybody's feelings, everybody's safe spaces, and if they had failed to
Very
make the
possible.
students' learning a priority, if they had cut it there instead of well-being a priority, I would have been like, oh, it was the well-being part that fucking triggered me.
Fair.
I don't care about your well-being. Just do the fucking work.
All right, then. That's the rundown. After show, anything? It sounds like the whole Barstool universe is on the hunt for Jeff Nadu's dick.
Yeah, I missed this yesterday, and I did the sit down with Nadu. He didn't even mention it one time. So it seems like everybody's more concerned about where his dick is on the internet than Nadu. He's just going about his life.
Does this concern you, Dave? You guys have the history of the robbery off potentially at some point.
The what?
You guys were going to do a robbery off. Remember you talked about him with that? Content, we get like a dating app to jump in or something like that.
No, I'm not having a broad off with Jeff Nadu.
Well, we know this. The guy's not a team player.
I'm a team. How am I not a team player? I mean, Dave, you want that? That would be a bad look for Barstool, I think.
No, and it'd be funny.
I remember they were going to go to a bar and
Yeah, they were going to rob people's girls. Like they were going to go to bars.
It was the broad off, not the robbery off.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I'm robbing
Well, that's
someone?
his art, though. That's what I'm saying. If people don't know, Jeff Nadu's art is he goes into bars and he robs your girl. You're a guy.
Yeah,
you go to the
people were-
bathroom. He walks in. He said, "What up, love?" And then he slides in there. he Nadu-Tadoos and he gets out of there.
And then
And
just
that's what like. I mean, he challenged you to a robbery off.
the thought of sitting in a bar and watching Jeff Nadu awkwardly try to pick up women is nauseating to me. And I said that to his face, and I'll reiterate it right here. He can go pick up all the broads he wants, but I want nothing to do with it. That's guilt by association.
Why does it nauseate you?
I mean,
I would love to watch Nadu try to pick
what's-
up girls.
I mean,
I think
as
it's
like
funny.
no, it was supposed to be me and him like going and doing it together. That's nauseating.
I don't think so. I think that's very funny.
Because you wouldn't be there, Ed. Would you do that? Exactly.
well,
Your
I didn't-
silence says all
But I
I
didn't
need.
get myself into the situation.
He took a breath. What
Yeah,
silence?
that split second.
Split seconds. All
Yeah.
Dave
Don't-
needs is to jump on the football.
That some people take more than a split second to think about their answer before they're shooting from the hip.
because there's only one answer right there, and the answer is no. I don't want to do that. Do you want to do that? Thank you.
No, I don't.
Thank you.
I don't want to.
But you were the one that took a shot at him.
I didn't take a shot at him at all. I asked if it was like shtick or not because I sincerely
Yeah.
couldn't tell.
So he took that as.
What
he
was
took
that
as a
show where the guy?
but I still can't tell if it's shtick or not.
Where he
Is
would-
it shtick or is it not shtick?
Where
No,
he would-
dude, he'll steal your fucking broad. Like, what
I
don't you
feel like I'm
understand?
on the Truman Show where there's
We gotta get him out here, and we'll take him to the back table at Declan's. We'll get there, start gambling at 11 a.m.
He's challenging me to rough and rowdy him. I'm like, I don't want.
I think that's a bad idea for Nadu. But
That-
Nadu is just joking around with
dude,
you.
the last
I promise.
No, I don't.
Would you rather fight him or face him in a robbery off?
Can you just
fight
call
him.
it a broad off, please? Jesus.
Yeah, what are you talking
robbery
about,
off
robbery
doesn't
off?
exactly roll off the tongue. It's a
No.
broad off.
I think it's
And
a robbery.
I
off.
will say this.
It's a difference picking up chicks. A difference when the guy goes to the bathroom and White Sox Dave
Hey,
and fucking
Shoddy.
the dude
Do you
slide in
think? Do
there
you
and
think
say,
he
"What up,
says
love?"
shoddy?
He's a what up? love guy. That's what he said.
SHAWTY. Do you
He
think? Hey,
might
shoddy?
be. He might be.
I
could see
No,
it.
I like Nadu. I think it's he's a hilarious little foil in the Barstool world, but I just don't want to be in a bar with him watching him pick up chicks, whether it's shtick or not. It's not what I like to do.
The sit down does numbers, by the way. I don't even think he's like a little foil. I think that show is going to be pretty big.
Shout out to my guy Glunny too. He got the text from Dave as he was going to go on the stage in Philly for the dozen, and he's like, "Boss, like Glunny's probably got backup catchers from 2007 running through his brain," and he sees that from Dave that he needs to go hunt for Nadu's dick, and Glunny was ready to drop it all for that.
The other funny,
true OnlyFans hero in this world.
The other funny thing about the screenshots from Dave was Big Cat. It was like Big Cat new number. Like Dan's had that number since 2013.
Yeah.
So he's like his new number from well, because Dave texted it out by accident.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and Big Cat actually did that to me back then too by accident. But it was that to me was funny that Dave has just been like, nope, it's Big Cat's new number that he's had for 10 years.
Very funny.
Very Dave.
Speaking of that, the Dozen Season 3 kicks off tonight. The semifinals from Philadelphia airs at 7 p.m. Eastern. Go check that out. Also, if you want to check out our YouTube, it's Barstool Chicago. Go subscribe there. We have no content on this channel. We have a ton of content on that one. So if you're like, who the fuck are these guys who pop in here every Wednesday, go check some of that out. Drafts are pretty popular. Chicago Sports Show, bunch of other stuff. Go check that out. Right?
Right.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, everybody, for watching. That's it for the rundown today. See you guys next time.